I went viral for like the 900th time, and every insane feminist on planet Earth covers it without doing an ounce of research.
You're telling me that you consistently get taken out of context? To me, it sounds like you almost want to get taken out of context.
Our story starts with a debate I did with Oliver Nyhouse.
Now, it is indeed true that I exposed myself to a 15-year-old girl over FaceTime when I was 17.
Andrew, are you really going to be shocked? You sit here and advocate for 19-year-olds and 18-year-olds to sleep with 35-year-old men.
I think it depends on the individual woman and what she wants. Some people don't want to have that much sex. Some people just don't.
That doesn't answer my question.
Wait.
What the was that? Andrew, your clips are terrible. I don't know what I just saw.
People with low body counts and who are not promiscuous tended to report much higher happiness levels in their marriage to stay together better. And for the health of the nation, they prefer to move the population towards that. What would be wrong with that?
I don't think there would necessarily be anything wrong
That's
with
what I advocate for.
Okay, and I'm not fully against that.
This is the whole context of this. Watching this is actually so boring. I really wish this video did a better job of actually showing Andrew being correct. I think I believe him, but he showed us 2 seconds worth of clips, and it's like, dude, why couldn't you just show us a few more minutes of the context? All right, guys. So I made this clip the other day. I think I was reacting, I guess, to the guy who this Andrew debated. Made a clip, put it up on all my socials, yada yada yada. Pretty, not a particularly great clip. One of the things I criticized in it was that he uses the term grape and essay instead of saying rape and sexual assault. So he responded to me and said, add another liar. Would have taken you 5 minutes to verify that this wasn't the case, you fucking idiot. Probably not true. But he did do a response. I don't know if he posted this after. This was May 29th. My video is May 29th, which means I filmed it on the 28th. So, I'm not watching a 3 or 4 hour long podcast to go through it. But he responded, so I want to watch it. I will say, first and foremost, though, like I said, please stop censoring your language and saying grape and essay. I know that there are really dumb people that are like, he's on a podcast. You can say bad words on your show, especially if it's in like the middle of it. Okay, I find it super immature to say grape and essay instead of rape and sexual assault. It doesn't matter. It's just childish, but whatever. But anyway, I also think, considering your past, you're a fucking debate bro, man. Like, you're a debate bro who spends a lot of your time talking to a bunch of like young people on a podcast that's meant to pull on other young people, mostly OnlyFans girls, to berate them for being whores. It's like, what credibility do you feel like you have where people are like, I gotta take this guy seriously? I don't know, man. Like, it's a little concerning. The fact that people believe that you would debate in favor of that, I mean, I'm not surprised considering your internet footprint. I think whatever, you want to be 35 and date a 19-year-old, be my guest, but it's extraordinarily immature, and I don't feel the need to position myself on a podcast every day to fucking fight to the death over it. But I want to see what he has to say. Let's check it out.
So I went viral again for like the 900th time. This time, driven by people who are absolutely horrible and lying through their teeth for no good reason at all, except to attempt to defame me. So I did what I always do. Wait until it hits a fever pitch, and every insane feminist on planet Earth covers it without doing an ounce of research or...
I just want to be clear. You're telling me that you consistently get taken out of context and you haven't tried to like change the way that you speak or interact with some of this stuff? To me, it sounds like you almost want to get taken out of context because it drives traffic to your channel. What is this, like some kind of fetish or
due diligence, and then wreck them all with the truth. You can make the case that like
wreck them all with the truth, baby. I mean, not for nothing, but like this video is 4 days old with 40,000 views. Not bad views. I'm just saying, like, the views that everybody else got on their stuff are like millions of views. So I don't know if you really owned them with facts and logic. I think you definitely told your community that already would agree with you that you're in the right. I don't know how much good that does for your public image. Maybe you should be more worried about that.
Is bad for certain people.
No.
For certain people.
The Bear. This is why we picked The Bear. This is Andrew Wilson. The Bear.
No, it's bad for everyone.
No, it's only bad for certain people. Here, like there's women, you agree, who have orgasmed during essay. Our story starts with a debate I did on whatever podcast with Oliver Nyhouse, a progressive Omegle debater known for making
Omegle debater? Is that even around?
dishonest clips to demonize his debate opponents.
Due to maybe we got owned by Omegle debater.
The fact that he himself was caught up in a significant sexual controversy.
The main allegation you've probably heard is that I exposed myself to an
Oliver Nyhouse. Holy fuck, wait a minute. Oh my god. I covered his story. I covered this guy 3 years ago. People have been asking me a lot. Look at this fat piece of shit. I can't believe I don't even know what I said. I honestly have no idea what the coverage is. I don't know if it stands up to time. But apparently, this occurred when I was 17. Oh, wow. Okay. That was a fucking lucky pause. So they were 17, and okay. Maybe he's innocent. I don't know. Okay.
Underage girl without her consent. Now, it is indeed true that I
Well, if he was also underage, then would it really matter?
exposed myself to a 15-year-old girl over FaceTime when I was 17.
No, I don't really care. 15, 17, I don't really give a shit. I mean, I wouldn't say it's super appropriate, but 15 and 17, I'm not shitting my pants over it. Definitely not predatory. Andrew, are you really going to be shocked? Dude, you sit here and advocate for 19-year-olds and 18-year-olds to sleep with 35-year-old men, and you're going to shit your pants over a 15 and 17-year-old? Like, come on. Come on, dude. You don't do that.
In the debate with Nihao,
You look so shocked. There's no fucker way. This debate shit's so cringe with these fucker people.
I pointed out that he was continuously referencing the term some people when he was actually referencing the vast majority of a group.
Oh, okay. I'm sure you'll show us this specific.
Which is a very dishonest debate tactic.
Maybe. I got to see the context of like why he was saying that.
I think it depends on the individual woman and what she wants. Some people don't want to have that much sex. Some people just don't.
That doesn't answer my question definition.
What was your question? Some women don't want to have sex. I don't understand what's happening.
Some people aren't.
They conflate it with the scientific definition.
Some people are also with social, though.
Yeah,
but definitely do.
What the fuck? Dude, listen, I want to like believe him because I would not doubt it. I've been taken out of context before too. But Andrew, these clips are terrible. You showed us like 2 seconds. Show us a little bit more. Give us some more context. Does he just not know how to give proper context, or does he just? What the fuck was that? I don't know what I just saw.
Some people don't.
It's a very dishonest debate tactic.
I think it depends on the individual woman and what she wants. Some people don't want.
I need to know the question. I need full context to weigh in on this.
To have that much sex. Some people just don't.
That doesn't answer my question definition.
What the fuck was that?
You want. Some people don't want to have that much sex. Some people just don't.
That doesn't answer my question.
I don't know. This right here, right here. This right here. Okay, we're taking that. Okay. Screenshot of that. Don't worry about it. Might use it for a thumbnail. Okay. This right here is so weird to me because I don't know. Are you checking in on the camera? Is this like a clippable moment for you? Like what's going on here?
Question definition.
Some people aren't.
They conflate it with the scientific definition.
Some people are also with social though.
I have no idea what's happening.
I demonstrated this by creating a hypothetical where if it were the case that a single SA survivor didn't have a bad experience with SA, would it then be fair to say that we could reference that when a person had this horrible thing happen and say, well, some people don't enjoy that? To break it down.
Well, I guess I have one question for you then. No, I'm not going to do it. I was going to make him kiss, but that might have been kind of gay. But
more formally.
Should I make him kiss? No. Should I?
I asked Oliver.
No, I don't think I should.
Oliver, is it logically possible a single SA survivor exists who enjoyed the experience? Oliver's response, sure, yes. When you say for some people, right? The reason you keep saying that is because even though it's the vast overwhelming majority of people, you want to like create this little minutia outlier, right? Is it logically possible that there's ever been a woman who's been SA'd who'd enjoyed it?
I am not going to.
Can you answer my question? Is it
I wouldn't. I'd be like, I'm not answering that question. It seems like, I mean, maybe maybe there was. What is the point he's making? The problem is that like I don't understand the point. I understand that he's telling us that he kept potentially using outlier arguments. He did a poor job of representing that in his video. I don't know why he couldn't use proper clips. Okay, so then your go-to is to go right to rape. So you feel that this Oliver guy is using outlier arguments and he's taking a small amount of a group and he's conflating it to the majority of the group. And so your big own is to go, I got to debate pro rape. I got to go to rape. We got to rape him. Why? You know? And then it gets taken from what you're saying out of context. And so far in this video, the context you show is dog shit. And then you get mad at everybody else because you don't know how to communicate that well. But then in this video, you also tell us that this happens all the time, that you constantly get taken out of context. Why wouldn't you try to speak more clearly and more carefully? Unless you're looking for viral clips. You're looking to milk viral moments by saying provocative, insane shit. You don't think that you could have used a different analogy? Well, you probably could have, but would it have gotten a bunch of clips that you you pretend to be upset about, but drive more traction to the podcast? It all seems like a game. It just all seems like a game. And it's like you get so mad at everybody else. Speak more clearly. I don't know what to tell you. It just seems like pathetic. And do a better job at communicating your point. This feels terrible. Like the pretext that you give us that you needed to go to this point was literally 2 seconds worth of clips. I don't know what the fuck to do with that. What am I supposed to do with 2 seconds worth of clips? I don't understand. I need to see like a better justifier, and I'm not going to watch a 3-hour long podcast for this one moment because you're crying at people on Twitter. The best case scenario here is that you consistently say dumb shit for attention and get taken out of context, and I guess I'm sorry for it, but if it keeps happening to you, it sounds like you're asking for it because of what you were wearing. I don't know. It seems silly.
Logically possible.
Logically possible? Sure.
Oops, Oliver.
Oops, Oliver.
My position back. Then don't you think it's dishonest if I were to frame that way? Because if a single person exists, I could then say, well, only some people don't enjoy SA. This made Oliver upset.
I just wish he showed better pretext because I still don't understand what made him feel warranted in this.
As he was caught in a basic logic trap where he ended up conceding the point.
Oh my God, he's debate broing us, dude. Holy fuck.
Answer the question.
I'm not going to answer.
Stop making fun of me for saying milk.
Answer the question.
But because then I can't say some people.
I'm not going to answer
Yeah.
whether women enjoy being.
That's not what I asked you.
I mean, maybe Oliver's also an annoying cuck. I don't know. Hey guys, we expose Oliver for being an annoying debate cuck, and then also having the Alpha Chad debate owner. Debates are so gay. It's so stupid. This debate shit is so cringe, man. It's just like so annoying. Oh my God.
Whether a woman has enjoyed being.
If there's ever been one. Do you think there's ever been one?
I'm not. No, I'm not answering.
You don't think there has been?
I don't know, and I'm not going to answer.
Yeah, exactly.
Or maybe. I mean, just because you orgasm doesn't mean that you enjoyed something. Okay. Tell that to my wife. Inappropriate. But also, still don't really understand the reason for this.
I'm not going to answer. I'm not going to. This is a weird thing. This is such a weird thing
What's
to get on.
wrong with answering
about.
the question?
Because I'm not going to contribute to rhetoric that tries to say that
What about Blue Rick?
there is anything good about SA.
Who said there's anything good about it?
You just said that some women orgasm, therefore that is a good of it.
No. I was running an internal critique.
Are we watching two people like fully aware of the optics of what this looks like on social media, like debating each other, not conversing with each other or debating each other, but debating the interpretation of what's going to be seen? This is fucking so cringe. Two fucking assholes clip farming. This is so gay. Sorry, this is so cringe. I guess I'm using that as a pejorative. Okay, it's Pride Month, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
And saying
But this is incredibly fucking stupid.
it is the case of X, then Y.
Mm-hmm.
That's not me advocating for that position. Don't lie. That's one. And two, when we move into this, right, here's what I'm saying to you. And I'll ask this question again. Do you think that there's been at least one woman who's ever existed that was SA'd and liked it?
I don't know.
You don't think? What do you think?
I don't know I don't know. Like, that's fucking crazy. I wouldn't say yes either, man. Because if you said yes to that question, even if it is true, I've never heard somebody say it was true. It sounds to me like you're doing like a Hitler wasn't all bad, dog whistle, right? Like you're looking at a disgusting, immoral, inhuman thing, and you're proposing the idea that maybe some part of that isn't that bad. And I just don't think that you should ever humanize such an inhuman event or an inhuman person. So there is no positive reason to be like, you know what, maybe sometimes it's no, man. You have to know that. There's no way that you're that emotionally fucking stunted, right?
I don't know. I'm not going to answer that question, Andrew.
Because then I could say, well, why make the prescription shouldn't say?
No.
Because some people don't like it.
No.
Yeah. At that point, I began mocking him for his absurd logic. You see, Oliver dishonestly cut a video, which is me making fun of him for his dishonest tactics, which led to this absurd conclusion. Now, far be it for me to point out how awful Oliver's logic is, and that he could end.
I unironically, and I truly mean this, I really wish this video did a better job of actually showing Andrew being correct. Because from what I've seen, I think I believe him. I know he's terminally online and he's a massive debate bro that has no relation to the outside world in any meaningful capacity. But he showed us 2 seconds worth of clips that are supposedly supposed to completely exonerate himself. And it's like, dude, if you're sitting here saying that you were having consistent moments where you and this Oliver guy were arguing with each other and he kept trying to take outlier arguments like the 1% of the group and apply it to the 100% of the group. And then that's why you decided to come out with this insanely unnecessarily inflammatory whatever. Why couldn't you just show us a few more minutes of the context? It's not on everybody else to go watch your 3-hour-long shitty podcast. It seems to me like you get caught in this loop of trying to get people to go to the podcast by saying insanely provocative things, which is why you haven't monitored your language and you say that this happens all the time. So this video is 6.5 minutes long. It could have been 10 or 15 minutes long, and we could have had a much more productive pretext. And then I could have been like, oh yeah, like I totally get where you're coming from. You are the victim, but it really just seems like you have some kind of humiliation kink. I don't know. This is silly.
End up accidentally categorizing people who are on the receiving end of this horrible experience and marginalize them by saying only some people don't like it.
Okay.
But in this case, even
he's got that fucking cringe ass Hassan voice. I got banned from Twitch, and it's everyone else's fault.
from the feminist standpoint, I'm the good guy. But what
I don't think that's true. If you, unironically, you know, feminism, let's not get all male feminist cringe here. But unironically, if you were somebody that was more sensitive to like sexual assault, you wouldn't go around and use a hyperbolic rape comparison to prove a terrible point. It's like you could have done something else.
What did Oliver do? Well, he decided to selectively edit the clip to make it look like I was endorsing a thing I was making fun of him for.
Okay.
Which he contributed to with his faulty logic. And feminists,
I think that these guys get off to this weird shit. Like they like being taken out of context for attention.
Actually ran with this. They actually ran with this.
Damn, I couldn't run with it. I'm fucking fat as hell.
You could make the case that like is bad for certain people.
No.
Andrew Williams said grape is bad, but only for certain people. Damn. He's showing us a DEI hire. I'm just kidding.
This grown 50, 60-year-old man.
Man, she aged the fuck out of you too, Andrew. Well, you know what they say. Black don't crack. You know how it is, so you can't blame him.
Really sat there and said, rape is not bad for...
I'm so sorry. What? A dog's? Who put the dog sound in there? That is insane. Was it her or was it him? What the fuck, bro?
For every woman, because some of them orgasm.
Why?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because there are overriding harms
What the hell? She's floating.
than just orgasm.
Do you know what your kids are watching on the internet? This is the kind of slop your young teenage boys are watching.
This is true. She's actually based.
That's Andrew Wilson of the Whatever Podcast, which is a podcast that is meant to demean women.
It's kind of true. So it seems like.
It's my theory that they did this because they are really stupid.
Andrew, my man, again, you know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me 14 times, shame on me. If you're telling me that this always happens where you get into this feedback loop of saying some provocative, unnecessary shit on social media, and then everybody dumpsters you for it, and then you go, no, that was out of context. I'm thinking that maybe this is on you, bud. I think it's time for you to grow the fuck up and start speaking a little bit more carefully instead of trying to own this kid by talking about using a hyperbolic rape comparison because you feel like he's using too many outlier arguments. Hey, could you please stop saying that like 1% of this group represents the whole 100% of this group? Oh, you won't do that? Well, check it out. Do you love rape? I got this guy. I fucking owned him. Everybody criticizing me. They're fucking crazy. I owned this guy. Fuck, this is the only comparison I ever could have done in my entire life. I couldn't have done something else. I couldn't have, since we're talking about grapes, I couldn't have said, hey, just because like one or two of the grapes are bad, that means you throw all the grapes on the vine out. No. Can't use that. I only know how to use grape when I'm referring to rape, another way to demean sexual assault. Can't do that. but I can go right to fucking raping a woman. He's not doing that. But like, that's the comparison we're going to. We're going crazy. Why? Why do you need to do this? The fact that you find this acceptable is so online. It's so debate pedophile. Okay, not pedophile. I don't want to do that. He's not a pedophile, just to be clear. It's just debate pervert shit. It's weird. It's just weird debate perversion. It's strange. It's so strange, dude. You do not, like, I don't even know if I could ever communicate to this fucking guy that how weird it is to do what you do, because he'll just be like, I'm using an exaggerated argument to prove a point. Your brain has rotten through the core. You should not be using these arguments so recklessly. They're ridiculous. And then he's upset. He's like, oh, you got emotionally provoked from my incredibly emotionally provocative statement? You're the fucking idiot. Bro, what do you do? Like, come on. Come on. I don't know, man. Come on, man. You gotta grow up a little bit. Right? Like, you understand what you're doing is stupid, right? Like, I'm not even saying it's wrong. It's stupid. You have to know you're being stupid. Come on, bro. Please.
Did no due diligence.
Okay.
Like taking 5 minutes to check the facts, and also because they...
How do you take 5 minutes to check the facts? It's a 3-hour-long podcast. What are they supposed to check?
They're just fundamentally dishonest people who hate me.
I think that that's easy to write yourself off as a pure victim, because then it means that you don't actually have to put any effort into being better or communicating yourself better. But I'm pretty sure that podcast, because after I saw that clip, I was like, oh, maybe I want to watch this for content, right? Because I can make money watching it. And then I scrolled over to it, and it was like 3 hours long. Like, all of them are. Dude, it's 6 hours long. It's a 6-hour-long fucking podcast. I'm not watching a 6-hour-long podcast to parse through it. Why don't you do a better job at, like, communicating yourself and be like, hey, this clip's out of context. I'm probably like the only person who made a video about him that's like following up, because like, yeah, let me see the context. But like, at least some people will. But you make yourself look stupid in this video. It's just dumb.
Now, all of you feminists owe me an apology.
Feminist.
I never did the thing you claim.
I never
and all
smile.
Of you are lying through your teeth in
True.
a campaign of personal destruction.
That's what it is, man. You're the ultimate victim.
Based on something that never even happened.
Didn't even happen. He never even said the words. It's all AI, bro.
Show everybody this video. Also, to any of the feminists that think for a second these are my views, or that the video you are presenting is legitimate, I challenge you all to a live debate on the platform of your choosing.
I think I'm all right, man. I don't know if I'd ever really want to. I couldn't have a debate. I don't like debating. I think it's so cringe. Like, maybe I would chat with this guy casually, but a debate, dude, it's just too much. Because he said, I read like one of the comments, somebody's like, you should debate this guy. Yeah, it's like, here, debate Papa Gut, please. Happily. This is, I don't know. I would talk to you. I would talk to you. But I'm not doing this. I'm not doing weird rape comparisons and talking about grapes and bananas and essays. I'm not doing it. I don't even know what we would talk about. I have no interest in having a long-form discussion about how it's chill for like 18-year-old girls to date 35-year-olds. I don't have an interest in talking about how this was so out of context. It seems like you get into like consistent humiliation rituals of trying to plug yourself by saying provocative shit for attention. I don't like, what are we going to talk about? I don't think that there's anything to talk about. You know, it's just like, and I really like, what are we going to do? We're going to sit here for an hour and you're going to get up every 15 minutes to smoke a cigarette? Are you going to spend the whole day looking for a gotcha moment? That just sounds really boring to me. You know, I have better things to do. And I don't even have that much better things to do. I don't even have a lot of better things to do. But there's still better things to do than a weird performative conversation or debate. I don't like debates. They're cringe. I don't know, man. I don't know.
To defend your
It's
false
not it's not my world. My world is chilling, low effort reactions to social stuff, political stuff, and definitely drama stuff. And having a nice, honest time, even when I'm stupid. And I feel like you're not a particularly honest guy. Or maybe you are, but you're just so debate-brained that I don't think that you know how to have a regular conversation.
claims. But we all know you're not going to do that, don't we?
Also, this video is making me so horny. I don't think I could ever sit in front of a camera with you because my fucking penis would explode. What the fuck was that? Wow. All right, man. That was an interesting outro. All right, I'm off stream, but somebody linked. Oh, I'm not reading all this, but they linked this. This is supposedly, whatever. This is like the little bit leading up to this conversation about why he went so extreme with this sexual assault thing. I don't know why he couldn't have included this in his own video, but I'm going to watch it real quick. I think it's only the first little minute of it. So, all right, let's just watch it.
Against it.
Which feminist organization?
Hold on. Andrew, here's the problem with this. You're saying that individuals advocating for that as a good lifestyle because it works for them and it works for other people.
Individuals working for that. What did I say?
What do you
This is already confusing.
What's my position?
Your position is that there should be government-funded propaganda.
Is that individuals?
Hold on. Government-funded propaganda.
Individuals?
Wait, I was talking about the reason that feminist organizations would be against that government style of push.
Why?
Okay.
Why?
Because it is prescribing onto
This isn't even full context. What are they even talking about?
everyone a type of lifestyle
There's no prescription.
that doesn't work for everyone. It's saying that you should do this.
Wait, what's the prescription?
The prescription is you should wait until sex to have marriage, or wait until marriage to have sex.
And the outcomes are better.
The outcomes.
Yeah, they are better, but I imagine that there's probably going to be a lot of different variables there. Like if you're the type of person who can wait till marriage to have sex, you probably maybe you have a more stable relationship because sex doesn't matter as much to you, right? So like there are a lot of different people. Because I've heard this before. I read through a couple of other things here. It says just in general, the longer you wait to have sex, the better like your overall relationship will be, right? Like higher in satisfaction, higher relationship stability, better communication, et cetera, et cetera. I wouldn't doubt that people that are less sexually driven would have more stable relationships. I am very sexually driven. And I think that just in general is a problem. And I typically, can be a problem. And I typically think that like being very sexually driven can cause problems in a relationship in general, right? I think that that's more of it, what it would be. It's probably harder for people that are sexually driven to be as in control of themselves, right? That's why it took me a long time to kind of mature, a longer time. So yeah, like this could be in general. Also you probably shouldn't sleep around the first date. That probably means you're just fucking around for fun, but yeah, okay. But I don't really understand. Like, again, this is supposed to be the context of the situation. Why is it that he can't provide proper context? And I don't even know what rule they're talking about. I don't know if he brings up the point that I just brought up. Like, okay, cool.
Can be better for certain people.
Well, no, for most everybody, the outcomes are better.
Well, that's not true, right? Because it doesn't necessarily analyze all people, and it doesn't take into account differently types of relationship motivated people. Like you might be I'm very sexually motivated. My wife and I we do a lot of sex stuff. Right? Like, okay, I'm not trying to be like weird, but again, like you could interpret it as like if everybody waits longer, you'll have higher outcomes, which is probably generally true for everybody. To have a little bit of self-control and wait a little bit longer instead of sleeping on the first date, I wouldn't doubt that. But to wait till marriage, I don't know if I would necessarily agree with that. Again, I would imagine people who waited till marriage don't have a high sex drive, and so they might just have better relationships, sex being almost irrelevant to it. Like they're just less sexually driven, so maybe they don't fucking jerk off as much, and maybe like jerking off can be a huge problem. It can be like a potential addiction problem. Or they don't look at other people as much, so they feel more content in their relationship. Or they don't have fucking horny werewolf mode, so they don't go through weird like phases where they're like really horny, and so that girl that you get into a relationship with after you get really drunk, maybe they don't make those mistakes. Yeah, okay. I just is this the whole context?
At least from the reported date. When you say like certain people, it's like, okay, dude, yeah, I guess you could make the case that like Grape is bad for certain people.
No. Okay, and then this is where it starts with his like stupid argument. It's still stupid. It makes absolutely no. These are two completely non-comparable situations. In the one hand, you're trying to be really hyperbolic and talk about sexual assault for like a clippable moment. You were trying to farm clips. In the other instance, you're having some conversation about implementing some kind of government thing that advocates for marriage. I don't know why. He, in his own video we watched, can't give us this full context, and even this clip can't even. I don't even know what they're talking about. It sounds like some kind of government program to advocate for people to wait until marriage in some capacity. That's probably not a good idea. I don't really know. Why is it that your own followers and yourself can't provide these clips out of this it's almost a 6-hour long podcast? I'm not looking through a 6-hour long podcast. Do you guys? Okay. whatever. I just wanted to include this for. I wanted to include this just to be, tighten up. But again, I'm not going through a 6-hour long podcast so that I could see what you guys have to say. This is stupid. All right, I'm going to watch a little bit of this. I kind of found ish the point leading up to it. This conversation is actually fucking cancer. Okay.
Bioethics course, and we were talking about the ethics of incest and the fact that it is really hard to pin down the exact
Can't have a good debate pervert conversation without talking about incest.
wrong of incest when looking at it directly. If you remove the genetic factors, if you remove a lot of the familial factors. The problem is I'm not going to get into an argument where I'm defending incest.
But you already did multiple times.
No, I didn't.
You've defended it multiple times.
I did not defend incest because I said that's not the case. It will not be good for these people.
So the reason we sidelined, and I'm not going to let you kind of like evade the point, back to this idea of
Why do they have fucking crystals? I don't care.
sample size. This is what we're actually talking about, which led to this. Why is it, again, that you think that if it is the case that when people get married virgins, right, they report the largest amount of happiness in their relationship stay together, basically more than almost any other demographic, by the way?
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense to me. I feel like people that are virgins are probably, a lot of them are probably in more religious communities that are in smaller areas with less people, and they're probably just not as sexually driven. So again, they have that capacity. And then there's something to be said about, like, I guess, not missing what you don't have, I suppose. But I mean, okay. Anyway, let's continue.
It's fucking insane.
Sure.
Like, why is it that you would not want to advocate for that in society, even if you didn't make laws, but you just made social advocation towards it?
I'm also not advocating in favor of like insane hookup culture.
What's my question, though? Dude, answer my question.
I think it's fine. Absolutely advocate.
So what if we had government policy?
Not different.
Hang on.
Okay, continue.
Well, I don't understand. Don't you want government policy which says that being LGBTQ is okay?
Government policy which permits people to
No,
exercise
rainbow
their
flags in the
rights.
White House?
I don't really care about that. I think I don't really care what the flags are. I think that's going to just rile a bunch of people.
But what would actually be the problem? There's no law which is restricting anything. But the government, right, and state organizations from the top down, right, promoted instead that people with low body counts and who are not promiscuous tended to report much higher happiness levels and their marriages stay together better. And for the health of the nation, they prefer to move a population towards that. What would be wrong with that?
I don't think there would necessarily be anything wrong
That's
with that.
what I advocate for.
Okay, and I'm not fully against that. I'm just
You know
saying,
who is? Feminists.
They're not entirely
Yes.
not entirely against it.
Which feminist organization?
Hold on. Here's the problem with this. You're saying that individuals advocating for that as a good lifestyle because it works for them.
I didn't say individuals working for that. What did I say?
What's
my position?
Your position is that there should be government-funded
Is that individuals?
Hold on, government.
Is that
This is the whole context of this. Holy fuck. Dude, watching this is actually so boring. Watching the context of this is just so stupid and boring. Basically, the comparison is Andrew says, hey, people with lower body counts have higher outcomes in relationships, generally speaking, which there are statistics to back that up. And then this guy says, well, that doesn't necessarily work for everybody, which makes sense to me because that there are some people who are probably more sexually driven in a relationship, and they're probably not going to have the same ability to wait as people who are virgins when they get married, because those virgins are probably, again, not as sexually driven. So it only works for some people. I don't think that's a hot take. And then Andrew decides to go on about a rape comparison to be provocative on the internet and then cry when he gets called out for being provocative on the internet. The comparison is still totally way out of touch. It's way out of left field. It's way out of hand. And going right to rape after having this regular conversation is just pathetic. It doesn't make it any better. It's just so embarrassing. I'm not interacting with this anymore. This is so stupid.